Hello, everybody. It's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. Thank you so much for watching. As always, hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, hit the notification bell so you know when we're on. Also, consider hitting the like and leave me a comment if you feel so inclined. You can always email me, americandufus@gmail.com. And if you'd like to help support the show, a couple of ways of doing that. Cashapp, $American Doofus, all one word, AMERICANDUFUS, or you can purchase my latest book, my third novel. It is called America, Land of the Greed, Home of the Grave, and the link to do so is in the comments below, in the introduction below. So it'd make a great Christmas gift, just saying, buy yourself a copy and send a copy to someone as a Christmas gift, an affordable little Christmas gift, make a nice stocking stuffer, and it would help out. And it's a good book. It's a good story. It's, and speaking of stories, tomorrow night we're going to be live and we're going to dip into the mailbag. I've got a couple of emails I want to kind of make public without identifying who they're from, because a couple of things that we need to talk about. So tomorrow night, 10:30, we're going to be live, and I hope you will join. And I'm going to call Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights we're going to be live, obviously, and have been for the past couple of weeks, and we're going to be continuing to do so. I'm going to call it the People's Platform, and it's just because I'm going to give viewers a chance to come on for 2-3 minutes and speak their mind if they so desire. And a lot of people watch but don't have a platform, and sometimes have something to say and want to say it, and we're going to give the people a platform every Wednesday night at 10:30. Basically, it'll be I'm going to talk about a couple of things, and then we'll have some people on and find out what you think. As for today, as for what's happening now, and a couple of, in case you missed it, we're just going to go to what's happening now. To start things out, and CNN headlines: if this doesn't strengthen Democrats' power, it's not clear what will. I'm not sure what that's about. I will say that I don't see anything strengthening Democratic power, just short of standing up to certain entities and situations. And I'm going to leave it at that for the moment. We'll talk more about that tomorrow night at the live. I want to draw your attention to this high stakes call between Biden and Putin lasted 2 hours. The call is about the Ukraine, about the possibility, in all likelihood, Russia is going to invade the Ukraine. Biden has warned Putin that there would be sanctions coming, that we would do something economically if they invaded the Ukraine. NATO, there's a lot to this, and it requires its own episode. I just want to draw your attention to a phone call that could potentially be the first bell chime of a potential World War III, which is something horrific that we don't want to think about, but we have to. Some other headlines real quick. Teenager arrested for beheading his sister as mother allegedly held the victim's legs. This almost makes me gag to think about. It happened in India, by the way, not here in the United States. And namaste to those in India that are far more impacted by this horrific event than we are, but it just once again shows what a dark world, what a dark world we're in. This is the one that I wanted to highlight. As you can see, it says, Meadows says COVID-19 made Trump so weak he couldn't hold the briefcase. I'm not going to play the video as new detail. You can go to CNN and check that out for yourself. But basically, I know this is going to be a shock to a lot of people, but Trump lied. Now, that's called sarcasm, because it's not a shock to anybody that Trump's lied. What is a shock is that he hasn't been held accountable. And I was pushing for a chant of lock him up, Donald Trump, lock him up, Mike Pence too, or he'll pardon you, when they were in power. Because he was responsible for not telling the truth about COVID. Now, there are still those that don't think COVID's real, and I run into them, and okay. Some of those same people that don't think COVID real thinks Donald Trump is Jesus Christ incarnate. Just something to think about. We'll get more in depth on this tomorrow night, 10:30 live. Two more things I wanted to touch on real quick. New York City, we've been talking about COVID, and Trump had COVID so bad he couldn't hold a briefcase. Your oxygen levels drop when you get COVID. It's just how far they drop, and that's what ends up causing you to die. Is basically you don't have any oxygen in your body, and you can't breathe and regenerate oxygen. It's horrific. It's a mild case of COVID is nasty. Okay. There are those that test positive and didn't have any symptoms, asymptomatic, and God bless them. But and if you're one that still doesn't believe COVID's real, who's going to have to die? How many? Who specifically is going to have to die from COVID for you to go, oh, well, maybe it is real? Because you're not a phlebotomist, you're not a medical professional, more than likely. Although there are some medical people that don't support the vaccine. There are very few medical people that don't say COVID's real. Let's just leave it at that as something to think about. New York City, expanding vaccine mandate for all students. Activities like band, sports, orchestra, and dance. Vaccine required for all kids 5 and up. That begins on December 14th. And also for public or for private corporations. New York City is going to start mandating vaccines. Of course, the government has mandated vaccines for government employees. Some health departments have mandated vaccines for their employees. Travel industry mandating vaccine for their employees. New York City is going to be the first in the country to say, if you work at, you work at a Postmate, you need to be vaccinated, and it's the government's call. It's not your corporation's call. It's not your individual call. It's the government. And I want to listen to just a few seconds of this.
Another really big, important step, and this is going to be a first in the nation step. You're going to hear from our health commissioner in a moment, and he will be issuing a commissioner's order for all private sector employers in New York City. It is time. Look, this is how we put health and safety first. by ensuring that there is a vaccine mandate that reaches everyone universally in the private sector. A lot of folks in the private sector have said to me they believe in vaccination, but they're not quite sure how they can do it themselves. Well, we're going to do it. We're going to do this so that every employer is on a level playing field. One universal standard starting December 27th. We're going to be working with businesses all over the city. And that's almost 200,000 businesses that are not already covered by the Key to NYC guidelines right now.
Okay. Slippery slope, in my opinion. We'll talk more about this as well tomorrow night live. And one final thing in case you missed it, Saturday night, something happened. I watched it Saturday night and have been waiting for some kind of response mainstream wise. There's not a lot of talk about this. This is Washington, D.C. This is Saturday night. This is from friend of the show, Ford Fisher. He's actually doing the camera work on this. And go to Ford's page, News to Share, to check out the whole video. This is a cut of the raw video I was watching Saturday night, and just give you a few seconds here.
For the liberty of all people, for the victory of the American spirit, God, liberty, victory, God, liberty, victory.
Now, what you're looking at right now, the line of police officers. Behind them is a group called Patriot Front, led by a white nationalist, self-proclaimed white nationalist. It is a white supremacy, far right, whatever organization, whatever term you want to use for a group that does not in any way believe in equity amongst all American people. Let's just frame it that way. So that is politically correct. I want to jump ahead so you can get an idea. They are uniformed. They're not armed. And because you can't be armed in Washington, D.C. However, it is something of major concern, and all freedom-loving Americans, especially as we head into an election year in 2022, should be aware of groups like this.
You booked a cozy.
And of course, we go to commercial. Like I said, go to Ford's page to check out the whole video. It's worth checking out. It's worth being aware of this group and all groups like this, Patriot Front. And the thing is, in their minds, they are being patriotic. In their minds, they want to return the United States to what the founding fathers founded it on. The fact that rich white people make the decisions, males, and everybody else just falls in line. Okay, just something to think about. Just something to think about. We'll talk more about this tomorrow night as well. 10:30 live. It's the American Doofus Show. It's the People's Platform every Wednesday live at 10:30 right here on the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. Do buy the book, America, Land of the Greed, Home of the Grave. It's available by clicking the link below, and I hope you'll do so. Until next time, I love y'all sincerely, and it's a dark world. Do try to be a light. Try to be positive. Try to help people. Try to at least not hate. There's way too much of that going on. I do love y'all. Namaste. Shalom. Salam. Blessings in the name of Jesus Christ for those fellow believers. And until next time, it's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus.